Okay, this is the first quarter market report for 2018, and the first quarter of 2018 looked a lot like 2017. The difference was, at least for Southeast Michigan, was that we're coming towards the end of the release of pent-up demand of the recovery from the recession. So we're seeing, although demand is really strong, we're seeing a little bit of waning of demand. Interest rates have risen a little bit, and home values are up quite a bit. So affordability for housing is down, and that's putting some restriction on demand. But the biggest issue, and sales for the first quarter of 2018 crossed all price categories are down. More down in the lower under 250 price range than the higher price ranges. But the reason for that is not really because of demand, because though demand is off slightly, it's not that significant. The real reason is inventory. And where there is a shortage of inventory, not surprisingly, there's a reduction in the number of sales. So for Southeast Michigan, in general, it's the entry-level, mid-price markets to the mid-upper to the upper three categories. In general, we use under 250, 250 to 500, and 500 and above. And in those markets, the under 250 is very strong. That's where the inventory shortage is. The middle markets, inventories are still down, but sales are up a little bit. And the reason they're up is because buyers are migrating to that price point. The average value, the price point per home, are up quite a bit under 250. Up pretty much in the middle range, and actually home values have been relatively flat in the upper end. Even though sales are up slightly, aren't down as much in the upper ends, the over 500, we're still finding that that values are not increasing as much because there's more plentiful inventory, there are more homes on the market. So what we've seen, if you looked at trying to gauge the market, what we've seen is the continued trend that much of the activity for homes is happening in the first 10 days. And that is across all price ranges. The homes under $500,000 across most of Southeast Michigan, we're getting about a third of those new homes coming on the market are selling, and up to as much as 50% are selling within 10 days, getting an offer, at least an accepted offer within 10 days. And even over $500,000, it's about 20% to 25%. And when you go over 30 days, it gets to close to 70% under $500,000 and about 35–40% over. So what that tells the seller is that relatively quickly, within the first 30 days certainly, across all price points in a market as strong as this, you're going to know demand. And if you're not getting showing activity or you're not getting offers, then it's time to talk to your realtor about adjusting condition, price, resetting the position of your home in the marketplace. And in a market this strong, it's kind of nice because you're not waiting 60, 90, 180 days to figure things out. The market's strong enough, the velocity is there to figure out what's going on relatively quickly. So what's causing this shortage of listings? Well, for the most part, it's that the release of inventory that we'd expected from the sort of the empty nester generation, the baby boomer generation, is being released a lot slower than we had thought it would be. And there's a lot of reasons for that. In general, baby boomers are staying in their homes longer, they're employed longer, they're healthier, they're less likely to downsize when their kids leave the nest. And in general, their lifestyle is looking closer. A 60-year-old baby boomer is looking a lot like a 50-year-old prior generation. So therefore, the churn is not as fast. And quite frankly, most of those baby boomers, when they're looking to find a home to move to, sort of downsize from often that colonial to that 3-bedroom empty nester condo, often the cost of the home is the same as they're selling their home. So they don't get any release and relief financially from that. So the incentive to make that move is less now than it has been in the past. The solution to most of this is more new construction. And that solution is coming, and there are more homes being built, and finally there are some homes being built in the lower price ranges, closer to first-time home buyers, but it'll take a few years. So what we're seeing now is what we anticipate seeing throughout the year, and probably for the next few years as far as the shortage of inventory. So what does it mean for sellers? Well, for sellers, what it means is keep an eye on your local market. Because as I said before, I've said in other market reports, the market is moving fast and all boats are rising, but they're rising at different rates. So if you're in a sort of a starter home market, you're going to see lots of activity. You're going to have the benefit of that. You might have the benefit even of multiple offers, but be aware of that. And if you're in a market like that and you're not getting multiple offers in market activity, then look at how your home is being set in that market in terms of pricing condition and all those things. But also be aware that as the price rises in a given market, the activity slows down rather dramatically. So you have to be aware as a seller what price point you're in and what micro market you're in. Because in certain markets, it's very easy for the market to be suddenly flooded, even this time of year when listings tend to come out more, to be flooded. And you suddenly go from 1 or 2 listings in your area competing against you to 8 or 9. And the more listings that's competing against yours, the less price strength you have in the marketplace. So as a seller, be aware of those issues. Be aware that a higher priced home will not get the same activity as a lower priced home. So although it's a great market, there are subtleties to be aware of to manage your expectations. On the buyer side, speed is important. Be as close to a cash buyer, a pre-approved buyer as you can get, because often, particularly in the lower price ranges, you might be competing with other offers, so you need to look good. So you need that odd combination of speed, move quickly when you see the home you like, and patience. Wait for those properties to come on board because they're going to move quickly. You need to have patience. The other thing is to also expand your geographic reach. If there's a certain area you want, if you spread to the fringes of that area, you're going to find homes more affordable. And the commuting, driving distance, lifestyle difference probably won't be that much dramatic, but you also find homes that are more plentiful. So expand your reach a little bit, look outside of that, and your realtor will probably be advising you of that as well. So overall, we have a very strong start. 2018 will be a good real estate year, probably for the reasons of inventory and maybe declining affordability, maybe not as strong as 2017 in terms of homes sold and value appreciation, but still a very good year and a good time to buy and a good time to sell. Thanks.